Hello everybody. This is the final result of this video. It's a list of all the Excel functions available on Exceljet. If we scroll down through the list, we can see that there are a lot of functions available. Actually 368. You can filter them by category. For example, if you click on logical, you see the AND, the IF functions. And what you also can do is you can select a year when they were introduced. For example, the dynamic array functions were introduced in 2021 or on Excel 365. And this is the reason why I made this video. I want to see which functions were available on a certain year and which functions are the latest, because that's what you need when you make an Excel application for a client which doesn't have all that new functions. So what you can see here is that with Excel 365, 26 new functions were introduced. Okay, let's create this table step by step. I will first explore with you the website of exceljet.net, and then I will explain you how the steps in Power Query were made. Okay, let's jump to exceljet.net and let's see an overview of this website. There is a place for functions and formulas, and in articles you can see who is the author. That's Mr. Dave Bruns, and together with his wife Lisa he makes this website. It's very interesting. Please have a look on this site. Now, if we go back to the functions, you can see a list of all the functions categorized, and you see the year of introduction, for example 2003 or 2007. But if we want to filter on this is not possible. Also, if I try Excel 2007, it's also not possible. So the question is, can we still grab this information somewhere with Power Query? And that's what we will try to do. So let us first copy the URL of the website. We need this in Power Query. Now, we jump over to Excel and then we start Power Query. Click on Data, then on Get Data, or directly from the web, get data from other sources and then from the web. This is the same. Now, we paste now our web address, and what we see is that we also see the HTTPS. Then we click on OK, and Power Query Editor will be opened. Okay, in Power Query we see the different function categories. Every category is a table. If we click on logical, we see the version, and that's good news. And of course the different functions itself. Now, we could click on every table and then import it, but then we have to append them all together. Don't do that. Just click on the website name on the top, and then finally click on Transform Data. Okay, now we are in Power Query and we see that Power Query imported the different tables. If we click right on table, we see, for example, the logical functions that are available in the category logical. Now, some columns we don't need, so we select them, right mouse button, remove columns. And in the categories we see hashtags. We want to replace this by nothing, so we select it, select the hashtag to find, and select nothing to replace, and click OK, and the hashtag is gone. Now click on the button Expand on the right corner and deselect Use Original Column Names as Prefix. Click OK. So now we have our list with functions. We have to make some modification. One thing is that we have to remove the row with document in it. So we deselect the document, click OK. And then are we going to remove the column arguments? We don't need that. Right mouse button, remove. And then the three columns have to get a data type text. Okay. Now let's see if we can analyze this further. If we look at the website exceljet.net and we select a function, we see that the AND function, for example, if it is selected, is in the web address. Now let's see if we can get this address into Power Query. We choose therefore add a column, for example, from selection. I selected the function. Now I type in now the address, and remember to use the HTTP, and I select now, I gave now the same address, that is exceljet.net/functions and then and then minus function. And let's see if I press tab, if Excel understands it, that he has to do that with all the functions, and that seems to work. Now, if we look at the top, we see that this function is made correctly. So that is a good sign. So I'm satisfied with the new added column, and I want to click OK on it. So OK to confirm it, and the new column will be added to it. It has a name merged, so I will change this name now. In the formula bar I select merged and I change it to link. Confirm, and the column name has changed. You can see that in the steps. Now I'm finished, so I click on Home, Close and Load to, and I want to get the table in a new worksheet. Click OK, and there I have my new sheet. So the third thing I'm going to do is to add some extra space with Control plus a few times, because this is the place where my slicer is coming later. Now, if I click on the link, it doesn't work. I click in the formula bar and confirm it, and then I see that this is linked, but this is not a good way of working. So let's make a new formula called hyperlink. The hyperlink function is entered as follows: equals hyperlink, and then select the link locations and then the friendly name, and therefore we use the function. Now this works. We can decrease the column width, and then we only see the hyperlink. If we click on it, let's test it, click on the if function, and then the website of Exceljet will be opened and immediately jumps to the if function. So the next step is that we are going to add some slicers. We click in the table, and the menu table design, we choose the option insert slicer. Now we have several options. One of is caption, and the other will be the version. Caption should be the category. I should have changed this into Power Query, but I forgot to do that. Now select those two, click on OK, and there we have our slicers. We are going to modify them a bit, so increase the number of columns and modify the size a bit, and we arrange this into this area on top of it. Make it a bit bigger and move it to the left, and then in caption, which should be category, increase the number of columns as well, and then we have a nice overview of all the selections available. Okay, one last step is that we are going to calculate the number of functions that belong to a certain version or to a certain category. Now, therefore, we are going to add a formula, and we are going to use the formula subtotal. With subtotal, we can make a calculation with a filtered list. The number of functions equals subtotal, and then we choose count A because we are going to count text, and we can choose whatever column we choose. It doesn't matter. So we say 3 semicolon, and then for example the version, bracket close, enter. So 368 is the total number of functions available in this list. Now if we select a certain version, then we can see that in 2003 only 260 functions were available, and the new functions in 365 is 26. Now if we filter further and select dynamic array, we see that we have 25 dynamic array functions available. So have a look at them and try to study them. Hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on Excel Bard's YouTube channel.